Okay, we're going to give you a demonstration of Yarbo's mapping capabilities today. So it is going to snow again next weekend. It's expected to be a lot of snow. I have a irregular sized driveway that I've noticed issues with, Yarbo's just navigating, having to move around kind of small areas. So I just want to make a simpler map today that Yarbo can clean. So it's going to start off by moving ahead 3.5 feet or so, which it has done. Now it's going to allow me to start drawing a boundary. So I'm going to do that, but first I want to just kind of position Yarbo. Realize you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing with Yarbo, but that is okay. All I am doing is straightening up the little guy so that whenever I connect everything, okay. So I'm going to start redrawing now from right in front of the charging pad. I'm going to go kind of slow, staying close to the edge. And then, although the driveway does open up down here a little bit, I'm just going to ignore that and go straight. Trying to keep Yarbo going as straight as possible. Right down here to the end of the driveway. Now that I'm at the end of the driveway, I want to make the 3-point turn, or sorry, the tank turn. Get that nice and straight. Okay, so now you can see what I'm doing down here. It's really easy for Yarbo to just take off. So you want to make sure you're going slow when you do this. Really focus on getting the map right up against the edge of the driveway in some areas. Okay. Now instead of trying to get all up into that corner or get too close to the house, Now I just got to connect those two dots. This is just going to make my driveway all that easier for Yarbo to clean. See if that works. Now I'm going to define the snow throwing direction. Now, this is something I've had issues with Yarbo because it's been throwing snow at the garage, throwing snow at the front door. So I'm going to come down here and say only down here. And on this side of the driveway can you throw the snow. Something about giving it some extra space too, some extra boundary, so that it doesn't end up throwing snow as it's rotating, changing directions of the chute. So now I want obviously a good overlap. I'm going to choose a robust auger speed. I'm going to keep the parallel pattern. I'm going to lower that auger minimum height down to the minimum. I leave the deflector angle alone. And sometimes I do the work twice, but I'm not going to go ahead. I'm just going to leave that off this time. I can always choose to do that at a later date. So now it wants me to create a path. So the path connects the work area. So this should be pretty easy. Notice Yarbo had lowered the auger there for a second. I'm going to raise it back up. So the path, again, connects the charging pad to the area, the work area. So I'm just going to back Yarbo manually onto the charging pad. Kind of get it lined up here as best I can. Sometimes I'm better at controlling it than others. Okay. Start the path. Should be lined up. Okay, I'm going to redraw it one more time. Checking to see that we're lined up here. Yarbo feels like it's lined up on the charging pad. All right, starting the path. So all I have to do to start the path is please draw the path to connect a separate work area to the docking station. So that should just be right here. Next. Set throwing direction. Well, that's easy. Only that side. Oh, well. Update path settings. We're going to go again with robust. This time we're just, because it's got a clear little lip, we're going to leave it a little edge there to get over the edge, and then call that good. Okay. Go to modifying the map. So you got a map area and you have a path. Okay. So now with those two, you can create a work plan. There's your area. And there's the plan. I'm going to call it my driveway. Okay, because we're going to map the neighbor's driveway here in a second too. All right, so now back to kind of where Yarbo is positioned. I want to add a new area. This is going to be area at the bottom of the driveway. So end of the driveway, we're going to call it. Driving Yarbo down to the bottom of my street, where I'm going to map out this end of driveway. Okay. I'm going to start now. Well, I'm going to actually back up a little bit. Everyone thinks it's somewhere it's not. A little bit of correction there. Okay. Redraw. So end of driveway. I can have it overlap with another little area here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start the mapping now. End of driveway. It's going to do the last 3 feet of my driveway. Dips down to the gutter into the street. Goes out another 6 feet or so past my driveway. And this is typically to get it past where the snow berm would be piled up by the city's snowplow. And I've done some work to clear this in the past. Okay, so end of driveway is heading back up into the driveway. Again, overlapping that last couple of feet. Giving Yarbo there. Take care of. Now I just need to get Yarbo over here. End of driveway will be complete. That's it. So that doesn't look perfect, but it is what it is. I could choose to redraw it, but I'm not really that worried about it. That is all good there. All right, so now in this area, I'm going to do robust. I want to do this a little faster, so maybe not as much overlap. There is some lippage down here or transition of heights between the driveway and the street. So I want to give it a little bit of, with a little bit of room. Yeah, half inch to work around going over that curb transition. All right, everything else looks good here. In this area, I could, again, choose to work twice, but we're just going to do it once. Now, again, I need to create a pathway. So raise that auger up. So every time you set that auger height in one of the area settings, it goes ahead and lowers it then as if you were ready to go. So head back up here. to the charging pad. Create a separate pathway because I want to execute the end of driveway plan separately from the driveway. So Yarbo's again lined up on the charging pad or within a couple millimeters of correction here. It really wants to be on there straight. Okay. So we're starting a new pathway. Start by going into the first pathway. I'm going to go ahead and go the whole width of the driveway. Do that tank turn. And I'm going to use this pathway to again define the edge of the driveway. I didn't have it mapped out perfectly before. Now it's really going to be dialed in there. Right up against, whoops. Right up against that edge. And there Yarbo likes to work with a little bit of margin of error, but I'm going to let it tear into that grass a little bit. Okay, coming down here, approaching the work area that I want. I should now be into the work area. There. Go all the way into it there. A little bit more for the GPS. Okay. And now, along that pathway, throwing snow here. And then throwing snow all the way down this side. Hit that baby robust. We're going to keep that auger length or depth pretty low. And leave the deflector angles alone. All right, so now got my driveway. I've got my overlay of end of driveway that I want it to work. Now I want to add a sidewalk.